It was a big weekend on my game on.
Right, I've been wanting to share a bit more about this product for the last year. I just want to give myself a real good chance to really test it out. And that is the One Planet Winter Light -12 sleeping bag. So yeah, let's get into it. So this bag is rated to go down to -12 and its comfort rating is set at -5. I've found that to be absolutely perfect for any conditions that New Zealand seems to throw you at. It doesn't get as cold here as what it does in other countries. So a bag that's -5 for its comfort rating, perfect. And so with that, the weight is actually only 1,185 grams. It's an incredibly light bag for how warm it is. And so it packs down compact enough that I just seem to run this bag all through summer and even into winter. So one of the most noticeable things when you see this bag are the vertical running baffles that then turn into horizontal baffles. They do this just to keep all of the down in the right places, and it does exactly that, especially since the down has been treated. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's to keep it sort of water repellent, meaning that if you were to get wet in this bag, it's going to stop all of the down from clumping up, because as soon as the down clumps up, then that's where you lose all of your warmth. So the down mixed with these baffles does an incredibly good job of preserving warmth and being really efficient in any conditions, really. Even more than that, on the inside, it's got like horizontal running elastic bands, and so what that does is it sort of helps the bag stay really close to your body. And no, it is not restrictive in any way. It's incredibly comfortable once you're in it, but you can still feel it just hugging you ever so softly, and that just helps the bag be even more efficient with your body warmth. So it's an absolute must for me after trying this bag now. Another great feature on these bags are the zips. So they run a YKK number 5 zip. So it's a really strong, solid zip, but it's also relatively lightweight. But even more than that, they've got them put on a anti-snag cover. I think that's a godsend for missions where, I don't know, you're in the tent, it's dark, your bag's all snagged up, and it's just an absolute bastard, to be honest. So just having an anti-snag cover has made a big difference. Behind the zip, it's got a slightly stronger fabric here. So say if it does snag, gets caught on something, it's not going to tear up so easily. But they've also overlapped it behind the zip, meaning it's just going to trap in the warmth, and no warmth is going to be escaping out through the zip. So that's also another great feature. Where I think that these bags really come into their own, though, is the outer shell on them. Or to be honest, the outer and the inner shell. Once those two are paired together, it's really lightweight, but it also feels quite durable. And so that's something that we're always battling with as hunters, is what can we get that is the lightest but also the most durable and going to stand up to the conditions. And this outer shell does it really, really well. It's also 100% windproof, but with all of that, the bag still remains incredibly breathable. It's quite amazing. I've run this bag through summer and I haven't been sweating up a storm in it. Another great feature of this bag are actually the elastic drawstrings on the inside. So in some conditions where it has been absolutely freezing in the tent, these drawstrings really help to shape the bag even more over your shoulders and around your face, just trapping in every bit of heat that you're giving off. So, and they're still really comfortable. Even when I have been cinched up, I've been in the bag and had relatively good sleeps. Those are a few of the key features that have really stood out to me with this bag. Overall, I just think it's honestly the best bag I've ever run. It is slightly more on the costly side, coming in at just under $900. But a sleeping bag is something that I just don't want to compromise on. So yeah, I couldn't recommend this one more, really. So yeah, that's basically that. That's the One Planet Winter Light -12. So check out One Planet's website, because they have got an incredible amount of variations on bags that you can get. I think it's close to 100 different bags, and you're basically customizing a bag that can suit you. So this is the bag that fitted me the best, is the Winter Light -12. While we're on the topic of sleeping bags, I definitely can't talk about them without bringing up a sleeping bag liner. I've always run these growing up because I've found them to be far more versatile than what you actually think. They're not essentially just for adding warmth, they're actually for comfort as well. And so I've run silk sleeping bag liners over the last few years, and they have been good, but recently, it was last summer actually, I picked up a sleeping bag liner from Bloodline. And so this is a 100% merino bag liner. Typically these sleeping bag liners are used for adding extra warmth. This sleeping bag liner here will give you approximately 7 degrees added to your sleeping bag, which is quite a big difference for something that doesn't actually weigh too much and is quite easy to put in your pack. But even more than that, I run sleeping bag liners probably more during the summer. The reason for that being is when it's just too warm to zip your sleeping bag the whole way up. These are really nice to jump into, and if it does get a little chilly, then you can drape your sleeping bag over top of you. And then that way I can keep running the one bag all through summer. But even more than that is when I'm staying in dock huts, regardless of summer or winter, because even in winter I've stayed in those huts and your mate just cranks the fire, and I'm usually given the top bunk, and so it just absolutely cooks up there. And the worst thing in those dock huts is getting sweaty on those plastic mattresses. Generally you can't escape it, but it's still too hot to wear any clothes. They're not comfortable. So what I do is I just crawl into the sleeping bag liner. So I crawl into that, jump on the mattress, maybe drape over my sleeping bag, but then that way I'm still warm. If I get too warm, then I can take my sleeping bag off. But either way, my sweaty skin is not sticking to those plastic mattresses. So honestly, these are far more versatile than probably what you thought. They're not just for cold conditions, they're for all year round. So that's another great option to check out, is the Bloodline Dreamliner. So yeah, that's basically what I have been running for my sleeping setup for the last year, through summer and through winter. I've just always been a happy man when my head hits the sack, so that's about that.
It was a big weekend on my game on.